Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Elite Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Popple, on my co-host, William McClellan, and our guest today, Alex. And Alex, man, so we had him on for part one. We're back here at part two, and we left everybody hanging on you locking up 8 wholesale deals in one day. So tell everyone how you did this. Was this one guy or 8 separate people, 8 separate, completely separate deals?
No, it was 2 different people.
Okay.
On this one, it's where I kind of take the advantage of this platform and talk a little bit about my belief and,
of course.
and what I do. So basically what happened is that day I had a contract. We went to sign a contract with the guy that I was doing business with, right?
Mm-hmm.
But before we went to sign the contract, he called me in the morning. He's like, "What can I?" He's trying to figure out whether I'm going to sign the contract or not. And he's like, "If you do sign it, and then I'm going to give you," and I'm like, "Okay, what you going to give me?" And he stopped. So he's like, "Never mind. Let's just meet. Let's go meet this person." And I asked him what was the price range that he wanted to get on that lot. And he says, "Well, if you can get it for up to 10,000 will be okay." I got the lot for 5,000.
Oh, wow.
So when we were coming back, he asked, I was like, "Okay, so why did you call me this morning? You say you were going to give me something. Why, what did God told you how God wants me to bless me through you?" And he's like, "No, you got to get God out of the picture. This has nothing to do with God. I'll pay you because I got the money." And I'm like, and he went crazy on me. And I'm like, "Dude, chill out.
Mm-hmm.
If God has a blessing for me, he can use you. He can use anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so whatever blessing he has, he's going to give it to me. That simple as that."
Mm-hmm.
So we got into an argument there. I was almost stopping from going and knocking on some doors that some people that I was going to go see. And then it's kind of like basically just like we're talking right now. God, like, okay, so my blessing is because of that guy, is not because I can bless you. Because I was determined to stop working and go somewhere else. And I felt like God was telling me, "Go do what you're supposed to do. I'm the one who's blessing you."
Mm-hmm.
So I went, knock on the doors, and what happened, I left the note. I was almost ready at my house where I live at that time in McKinney, Texas, when I get this call from this guy. "Hey, I got this note on my door that you wanting to buy some houses and some lots that I got." I'm like, "Yes, I'm looking for one." He ended up having 6,
Oh, wow.
but he has a friend that wants to get ready of 2 houses too. So I'm like, "Yes, yes." I was like, "Have you had dinner?" And he's like, "No." "Okay, how about if we have dinner? I'll buy you dinner. Where do you want to go for dinner?" And one of the funny parts about that is I only had like $60. That's all the money that I have at that moment. I went down there. He wanted to get into Sisi's Pizza. So we went to have dinner there. We signed the 6 contracts that he had, 2 contracts of her friend, his friend. So technically that day was 9 contracts, 8 contracts that I got for me, but the contract that I got earlier, with my friend. And so that's how that happened. So to me, it's one of those times where God has come through and blessed me and let me know that he is the one who has the control.
Yeah, that is awesome, man. I mean, I just like would love all my listeners to take note how with only $60 in your pocket, you had the faith that to like take them out, knowing that this would help you close the deal. That yeah, I mean, I just think that's real special. So when you locked the 8 up, you already had that one day. What was the total that you were going to make on those 8 contracts?
I end up making on those contracts in the neighborhood of $85,000.
Man, not a bad day.
No, not
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So
What year was this? Just so we're good on the time.
2008, 2019.
2019.
okay.
All right.
So what happened between 08 and this time? I know that you went back to Honduras for a couple years, but like, what about all that time, those 10 years?
Okay, well, in Honduras, I mean, in 2010, okay, so to go back to 08, 2010, on 2010, I was doing network marketing. I don't know
Okay.
if you have heard, there was a multi-level marketing called Organo Gold. It was a coffee network marketing organization that I got into, and I built an organization there. And then I also got into Kayani, which is another network marketing organization. That's what I did, at that time, during that time.
Mhm.
And it was when I was doing Kayani that I went to Honduras to work on the ministry. I used Kayani as the excuse that I was going to go build the business, but I knew that that was not the reason what I was going for. I knew that what I was going up there, it was to work on the ministry.
Awesome. So then you came back in 2018, and
That's
then that's when you started, going real hard on wholesaling.
Yes. At that time is when I started going really hard on wholesaling. And then on 2020, I got a group of friends, and we put some money together and we started a wholesaling company. And then I had a friend that I knew, from some time ago, that he had an accounting firm. And when I formed the company, I went to him because I wanted to have somebody who keep up with the books.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, I don't have the money right now, but I'll give you 1% of the company. And he's like, let's meet at my office. And so when I went to see his office, it turned out that he was in real estate.
Mhm.
He was building houses, but he was building houses $1 million, 750,000, $1 million type of homes.
Oof.
My market is always being the masses, the low income or affordable housing.
Mhm.
That's my market. That's where I move in. And so that's when I told him, hey, look, we're going to be doing some wholesaling. We're going to be doing some flipping. He's like, can I get some of this deal? At the beginning, he's like, yeah, I'm in this market. I'm in the 750 $1 million homes. I'm like, well, that's not me. I don't have that kind of money. I'm going to start low. So we started that on 2000, at the end of 2019. The beginning of 2020 is when we start working. And I guess we all know what happened in 2020, right?
Right.
With
Totally.
COVID. You cannot go knock on people's doors. You can go do. So by June of 2020, I came back, and I was, through the whole time of COVID, I was in Honduras. I
Mhm.
came back on June, and I went to teach someone, a friend of mine, how to find properties.
Mhm.
And I found this property. There is this house, and there is this lot next to it.
Mhm.
So we went on knocking this guy's door, and he's like, I'm ready to sell. We negotiated the price. We put the contract of that house, and it has the house and it has the lot next to it.
Right. That's a big time. I love that.
And so that house, we bought it back then for $65,000, the whole thing.
Wow.
We put into it 40,000 into the house.
Hmm.
Now, get is the house and the lot for 65,000, right? So we fixed the house. We put about 40,000 on it, and we sold it for $189,000 at that time.
Wow.
That's a
Wow.
nice spread.
That's good.
So
And then how'd you split the lot?
and then we built the lot,
Hmm.
and we built that house, and that house we sold for $295,000.
Wow. I love it. I love it. That's a home run. Talking about home runs, what is that your favorite deal?
That's one of them. That's
Yeah.
one of them.
What's another good one? I love that.
I guess the one that I guess the one that I'm working on right now,
And it sticks out.
I think it's going to end up being a bigger deal
Okay.
because we bought the lot thinking that we were going to do a single home,
Hmm.
and it turned out that we're going to be doing a 3 different duplexes in there.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah.
that's a whole lot better.
That's 6 times better to me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's sick.
All right. So kind of continue the timeline along. In 2023, you joined the 10X community, and in 2024, you became a certified 10X business coach. What
Yes.
led you to that path, and how has it changed the way you think about real estate and business?
Oh, that's a huge loaded question, bro.
Yeah, we knew this is a meaty one.
So what happens is um, we have a TV station in Honduras. We got the real estate company here, and I'm always being prompt on teaching people to succeed.
Mhm.
Okay. So since day one, I knew that I wanted to go into multifamily. And so what happened was that a friend of mine talked to me about Grant Cardone, being one of the big guys in the multifamily space. So once and I heard a webinar, and then I bought in, and then went to a boot camp about apartment complex.
Mhm.
When I went to the boot camp, I noticed that it was not just real estate; it was sales, it was coaching. It's the whole enchilada with Grant. I'm like, shoot, I got no, I don't need to go nowhere else. Hit it. I got within one roof, everything that I need to move forward,
Mhm.
not only on real estate, but as a coach, but as also a business coach. How to help somebody to structure a business from 0 to $1 million, from 1 million to 3, from 3 million to 8, from 8 to 15, and so on and so forth. And so basically the idea is we're building this construction company, and at this moment in time, there is these opportunities to buy different companies. AC. There is people that is wanting to sell their AC company. There is people that wants to sell their plumbing company, electricity company,
Yeah.
roofing company. And so I'm like, I'm building. I'm not just doing flipping. I'm actually building houses, building duplexes, and building. Hopefully this year I'll start building the apartment complex.
Sweet.
So
Love it. I love it.
Mhm.
So learning to manage and to coach people to build a successful business is where my passion is at. So that's why I decided to come into the 10x family and become a 10x coach. Um, I like, some of the other guys like Anthony Robbins, Bob Proctor, and all these guys. They're great. But one of the things about Grant is more about go get it done. It's not that the other guys are not in that mindset, but their teaching is more spiritual, more mentally, more psychology, which we needed. But what happens is I already have got that teaching from Anthony Robbins and Bob Proctor for years. I've been receiving this information. What happened with Grant is I feel like he's not too much into the spiritual or mental stuff. He's like, go get it done, show up, do this, do the other, just go get the stuff done. So that's why I decided to stay with Grant. Again, not because I don't believe that the other guys are not worth it or they don't have what we need. It's just that for my needs, I needed more of a guy, of a hands-on type of guy, and
Yeah.
that's what I feel I need. I could get from Grant. So that's how I got in. And so what happened as I start being a coach with Grant and all that stuff, it got me to the point where I believe that I can build an apartment complex, where I can get deals above 300, $400,000. And so what happens is that because of that, I got a deal that normally, I, I was not even considering. So it was a deal that was over $1 million because it was different properties altogether. And I was able to put that deal together. It was a value of 1.2, and I got it for $650,000.
Whoa. And that everything you do for the listeners is all in Houston area, right?
Dallas, in the Dallas area, right?
Oh,
now.
in the Dallas area. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. So how long have you been in Dallas? Because we know that you came to Houston first, and then you've been in Dallas for how long?
In Houston, it was I was just on there because of the plane, but I didn't stay in Houston.
Okay, I got you.
It was kind of like whenever I can, it was just landing, and then, but I came straight to Dallas from day one.
Straight to Dallas. Okay, cool. Yeah, Dallas is cool, man. You guys have it all. Lots of sports, lots of fun, lots of deals.
Yes. Well, just like you guys in Florida. In Florida, you got, all kinds of sports and deals, and everybody wants to be in Florida, it seems like nowadays.
I know I don't want to leave. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's that. So the question was, how does it impact me? I can honestly tell you that even though I have made money, and even though I had these big dreams, I didn't have the confidence to go for $1 million deal at that, a year, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I just didn't. And once I got into the into the coaching and figuring out, hey, listening about a $300 million deal, a $900 million deal, I'm like, shoot, I can do $1 million deal.
Yeah.
So
was it just the example of people doing deals so much bigger that it made $1 million feel small, or what was that shift that made it doable for you all of a sudden?
A combination of that with the understanding on how putting the deal together.
Yeah.
Okay, understanding
is key, right?
Yes, understanding, okay, what is the cash value of this thing? How this thing is going to work? Does that make sense? Because it's not just about to put in the deal; it's about how the deal is going to work. And one more thing with this is, I didn't have no money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you catch this for your listeners, but if you didn't understand this, when I came back on 2018, I'm sorry, um, I was below negative.
Mm.
I didn't have a car. Okay, I was, when I came back on 2018 and I started doing wholesaling and all that stuff on 2019, I actually was trying to see the where there were restaurants close to the train station, so that I can set up meetings in the restaurants that I could take the train, get out of the train and go to the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually, again, I think that's a note that people should listen to.
Incredible.
Because like there you were without a car. I know so many people that just like give up thinking that's the end of the world, but you didn't let that defeat you. You're like, no, I'm gonna strategize. I'm gonna go where I'm gonna set up my meetings where it's easiest for me to get to, by taking a train. And I mean, like I said, I think that's important that people look at their circumstances, but then still look for how to make it. And I mean, you definitely did that.
No, that's incredible. How have you kind of transitioned? I mean, you've been in so many parts of real estate, so many different industries, all encompassing parts of sales. How have you kind of niche down to what you prefer? Because you went to wholesaling and you kind of went into fix and flips and rehabs, and now you have a lot of raw land. And for some of the listeners maybe that didn't catch it, now you're looking at utilizing that land to build your first set of apartments. Kind of talk about that journey and why you want to go into apartments, or why you've done new construction, or why you did fix and flips.
I guess
What's your favorite?
I guess I haven't done the apartments. I'm thinking that the apartments will be my favorite. I don't know that yet, because I'm not there. I haven't done it. So once and I've done it. But this is I guess the idea, the reason why hungry,
Yeah.
Being hungry, being curious.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and not being set in, not being comfortable.
Okay, so being able to like change as the market changes, like having the idea open, like that example you gave a second ago. You bought the house that was a rehab, but you actually did better on the lot next to it. But you just kind of were able to change as things were changing.
Yes. And so basically what happens is, depending on your dream, depending on your goal, whenever you have a dream, a goal, when you are clear on where you're going and why you're doing things, it helps you push yourself to that level. It's kind of like one of the things that I'm mentioning to you just a minute ago: buying a roofing company, buying a plumbing, electric company, an AC company. Why? Why do that? Well, number one, the first goal is, and this is uh, at the core of everything that I do, is it gives me the excuse to talk to people about my Savior. See, if I go, and this is what happens, if I go and talk to people about my Savior, people don't want to hear it. A lot of people don't want to hear that. It's like, leave that alone. Okay. Because they have associated you having a relationship with God with somebody who's, square, religious, strict, all these.
Well, and some people even think that they assume that if you're a Christian, you're judgmental of non-Christians, and they just assume you're going to judge them, when a lot of people I know love everybody and treat everyone well. They just want people to know that who their Lord is.
So with that, you're open-minded. You're able to get into a lot of new types of deals and things like that. I guess just kind of looking back through this whole interview and in your journey from Honduras to the U.S. to cleaning hotels to selling cologne to having a massive insurance brokerage, getting into real estate, losing it all, building it back up. It's really incredible, and I love that you're now a business coach and you're being able to teach people all over about how to build the business and really grow. But if someone wanted to do what you're doing right now and like work on new developments and also maybe become a business coach, what's the best advice you'd give to them if they're starting out?
The best advice that I would give them is find somebody like you guys. And I'm not being, it is the God honest truth. The best thing to do, it's, Robert Kiyosaki on the Rich Dad Poor Dad, he talks about on the tapes or on the CDs back then, he talked about that he will go to work for somebody and not ask for money.
I remember that, yeah.
Just, hey, go to work so that you can learn. If you don't have the money, and then what you can do is give your time.
Mm-hmm.
Once thing you learn, and then you go out and put it into practice. So what happens?
Yeah, that's good, great advice.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens is, how do I give value to somebody to teach me what they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Man, so you built this portfolio, and now as you break into multifamily, you already own the land. You plan to build your first complex. Walk us through that vision and how you're going to execute on that.
Okay, so this is it's a very complicated, I guess, in a way, but from day one. Next time, or if there is a next time, I'll try to have my my dream or my goals that I had it back in 2019 when we created the company. And from day one, the idea was we're going to flip houses, we're going to build houses, we're going to buy apartment complex, we're going to buy hotels, we're going to buy commercial real estate, but obviously you got to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
When we started, we didn't have no money, so the only thing that we could do is wholesaling.
Right.
And I was telling somebody earlier today that was calling me and complaining about some of the stuff that is going on. I'm like, okay, so let me ask you this: what is it that you want to do? And they're like, I want to be financially free. Okay, so you want to be financially free. How are you going to accomplish this? And they go on and tell me, well, I want to buy houses. Okay, so how much money do you have?
Mm-hmm.
None. Okay, how are you going to do it? Oh, I don't know. Okay, so you told me that you want to do some wholesaling, but you don't want to go knock on somebody's door, and you don't want to make the calls. So tell me, which way are you going to do it? Because I believe in God, and I believe God give us all the tools and everything that we need. But I also know that God is not going to take a house from the sky or from heaven and put it in your hand.
Right.
You got to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
So quit complaining, quit arguing about the work, and go do it. Get it done.
No, I agree.
And so what happens is, number one, is you got to be clear on your goal. What do you want and where are you going?
Mhm.
Now, once you clear on your goal on what you want and where you're going, and then define where you are today. And be honest about where you are today. Don't lie to yourself, because to get from point A to point B, you need to know where you are. And so whenever I do a session of a strategy or planning, that's what I tell people. Okay, number one, let's figure out where we're going, what we want. Number one, let's be clear of what we want and when do we want it. Now that we know what we want, and then let's get clear about where we are today.
So what exactly is generally newer investors like kind of mindset blocks, or is everyone different, or do a lot of us kind of struggle with the same things from all of the people that you coach? What have you kind of noticed?
Clarity.
Clarity.
Number one, clarity. Number two, misconception of what it is. You hear about a 15 and 20% return on money and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, yes, you can get 15, 20%. Are you willing to go to do the work?
Got it.
Mhm.
So a lot of times it's just kind of leading the horse to the right set of water.
That's right.
Okay, gotcha.
So
That's good to know, because I mean, I'm always all over the place. I feel like I call Sam every week with like a crazy new idea. So I gotta hop in one of your strategy sessions.
So what happens is, what I tell folks is like, look, you know where you're going, okay? So we need to know where we are. Now let's make a decision, and let's figure out what could stop you from reaching your goal.
Sure.
Yeah, I love that. So, but as we head to the conclusion of this, where are you at right now, and where is it that you plan on going?
My thing is, by the
flipping the question back at the master.
okay. But so my idea today is, by the end of this year, I should have either start building the apartment complex or have the fund to start at the beginning of next year.
And how many units is it?
I'm sorry?
How many units?
It's going to be just 75 units.
75 units is a solid first project, you know.
That's pretty sick.
I think
Will, just 75 units.
Yeah, like Will and I like love to do an 8-plex for our first, big multifamily, So I mean, 8 or 10, So yeah, no, 75 is big, and I think Grant Cardone says 32 units is like the minimum people should look at, because I think it's like a $50 rent increases changes $1 million value. So on a 75 unit, a $50 increase changes a $2 million value. So I mean, that's
$50 isn't a lot.
No. So that's 75 is big. So you planning on, by the end of this year, having, if you haven't started, at least have the plan and money finalized to make sure that it's started by 2026.
Yes, and then also we got another piece of land that we're going to be building 10 townhomes on two different properties.
That's awesome. That's it.
That's part of the deal. And then besides that, the idea is to actually go out and put a contract on 100 to 200 unit apartment that is already built, that we can acquire. And right now we're analyzing 16 different hotels in Houston.
Wow.
Not that we're going to buy, we're analyzing to figure out if we can get one of the hotels.
Yeah, and that's actually a good note for everyone listening. Then just everyone hear that volume, that he's looking at 16 deals with the hopes of being able to take down one, and that's about well, most people I talk to say they underwrite 10 deals to close on one deal. So, so I mean, 16 with the goal. Just want to let people know the volume of work that is usually involved in finding a deal. It's not look at a deal, do the numbers, and buy it. It's you look at 9 duds to pick out one good one.
What how big are these hotels?
One of them it's 80 rooms. It goes from 80 to 324.
Whoa. Okay. So realistically, you're gonna have 75 units plus 10 townhomes, so 85. Plus, you're gonna try and get in between 100 to 200 pre-built doors, working that deal, and then potentially have a hotel between. Let's just cut it in the middle at like 150 on an average, from 85 to 300 plus. So your goal in this next year is almost 500 doors.
Yes.
Wow. I love that goal. That's
me too. And we're definitely going to have to bring you back on. Once you're kind of down any of these paths, once you get a hotel under contract, you get the fund started, you break ground on the multifamily, any of these things happen, we want to get you back on so you can update the listeners. And that way it'd be time too to let people know how they can get in on your fund.
Totally.
Yeah. So I always like to ask this as we head to our closeout. You mentioned a few great people between Grant, Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins was mentioned, Bob Proctor. All these people are great speakers, great motivators, and also known for being great authors. Are there any books that kind of made a big impact on your life that kind of helped you get to where you are today? And what would be your favorite one? And if you can't pick one, you can name 2 or 3. But what do you think is one of the most impactful books that helped you get to where you are today?
I guess I got several of them, but I guess one of them, the top of the list, would be The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
The other one will be The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey.
Yeah, that's a great one.
The other book that I would say everybody needs to read is How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Another great
one. I'm gonna have to check out The Science of Getting Rich, because I think you're the second person that's told me about that one. I don't think I've read that one yet. Have you read that?
It's very small. It's a 67-page book.
Okay.
But I tell you, I had a friend, remember I say in 2008, 2010, I got into a network marketing organization.
Right.
I had a friend that I met 3-4 years before, and I gave him the book, and then he bought a video that system about the science of getting rich. For a year and a half or 2 years, that guy didn't do anything else to listen to that audio. In 2010, in 3 months, he went from 0 to $35,000 a month. And he went on to be one of the number 3 and 4 on network marketing on 2010-11.
Wow.
Where he was making $300,000-$400,000 a month.
That's a ton.
Jeez, what kind of network marketing is this?
He was the company was called Organo Gold.
Okay, that's crazy money.
It was one of the companies, and now the friend that I'm telling you that is going to be most likely one of my main investors, he is a VP on a network marketing organization also, and he's getting into those numbers too again.
Wow, that seems incredible.
Yeah, man. No, so this was all such great information. And I've really enjoyed hearing your journey. I mean, coming from Honduras, coming here, going back from ministry, coming back, making tons of money, losing some money, coming back again. I mean, like these are the stories that people like to hear, because a lot of people think that success is a straight shot, and once you make it, you've made it. And, I think it's good and it's humbling for people to hear of people who reach the level. I mean, like, I want to re-hit back, $80K a week during the early 2000s period. I mean, that's over $4 million a year. So like I said, going from that, making it big, taking a loss, having some family health issues, coming back, making it up again. Like I said, it's an incredible story. It's a motivating story. And man, I'm just so glad that you came on the podcast and shared it with us.
Well, I appreciate you putting me on this platform. And like I say, if I can be a blessing, more than welcome. And at any one point, this is one of the things. If you want to put this for your community, we can do a goal setting, a strategy session, completely free. If you decide that you want to put it together, and we'll do it.
I love it.
Yeah. No, actually, so anybody listening right now, actually, because I was about to ask you to retell us everyone your website where to contact you. We can actually tell them to contact you and just say they heard this on the Elite Real Estate Podcast, because that way they know they heard this, and they might have heard this the week it comes out. They might watch this on YouTube, in 2030 and come back and hear this episode. But I want them to know that, man, they can hit up our guy Alex, and like I said, he'll be able to get this one-on-one session, and and then who knows, it might bloom into a great coach relationship with you, or it might just set them on their journey to go. But I mean, I definitely encourage people to get in contact with Alex and do some coaching. And learn more about this upcoming fund, because I mean, like I said, as someone who's conquered it in wholesaling, done some fix and flips, and now get ready to build a real apartment complex. Like I said, it's an impressive story, and I can't wait to have you back. But man, for everyone listening, tell everyone where they can get in touch with you and find out more about you.
The best way to go today, it's 360, just like the number 360, Unified in YouTube. They can find us there, or they can go through 360unified.com.
Perfect.
Okay. And that way, that would be the simplest way to get a hold of me.
That's amazing, man. I can't wait for Sam and I's strategy session. We'll definitely put something together with some listeners. We'll do a little survey and reconnect. This is going to be really, really awesome and invaluable to a whole bunch of people. So thanks for doing that.
My pleasure. It will be a whole lot of fun to get it done and to actually help some people to succeed in their goal. So thank you very much, guys.
No, thank you, man. I love your energy and just everything, and your story was incredible. So thanks for sharing with all the listeners. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Will, where can people find out more about us, the Elite Real Estate Podcast, guys?
EliteRealEstatePodcast.com.
All right, guys. So come check us out, the EliteRealEstatePodcast.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Elite Real Estate Podcast. Really, every YouTube subscription means so much to us. So, like I said, we do not take it for granted. We really want to get those numbers up, because we know the more people subscribe to our channel, the more we're helping learn about real estate, all types of real estate. So please subscribe. Please share it with people that need to learn about real estate. And if anybody has land deals in Escambia County, Will and I are actively buying land in Escambia County. We're looking for buildable lots. We buy to build. So if you got, if it's land just sitting and it doesn't meet the right dimensions, we're probably not interested in it. But if you have all the right dimensions, the right road frontage, the right depth, and it's buildable, we want it. And it doesn't have to be just single family. We're interested in multifamily. We're interested in industrial property. Like I said, the big thing is it just has to be buildable. So if you got any buildable land deals, please send them to us at the EliteRealEstatePodcast.com. But I appreciate everyone listening this week. Our guy Alex had such a great story. So I hope everyone tuned in. I hope everyone heard part one. And Will, why don't you close us on out?
Everybody, thanks so much. Alex, can't thank you enough. Sam, always a pleasure. Everybody, thanks for listening to this point, and we'll see you next time on the Elite Real Estate Podcast.